Yeah, I mean, when I was 17, I did experience homelessness, and it was a very, very, very scary time. I was a feisty, opinionated, strong-minded teenager, and I also had a mother who was feisty and opinionated and strong-minded, and that kind of, at that stage when you're 17 years old, and you're going through that teenage experience, it can cause turmoil and a little bit of let's say hostility in the household. And we had a family, a quite a big family. I've got 5 brothers and sisters. So yeah, it became a bit too much for me. And I was someone who knew exactly what I wanted to do and how I was going to do it. And sometimes that differed from what my mum wanted. So yeah, one day we had a massive argument and I packed my bags and I left. And yeah, I was homeless and it was extremely scary.
I bet it was. I bet it was. I mean, you then went on eventually to represent your country at long jump in 2004 in Athens, in 2008 at the Beijing Olympics. What happened along the road for you to turn things around from being homeless, saying, I'll see you, to actually becoming an Olympic athlete?
Wow, oh my gosh, there was a lot that happened between then and actually making the Olympics. Well, first of all, I when I initially left home, I stayed in a few hostels, and then I found myself at a Centerpoint emergency hostel for young people. And for me, it was a really rude awakening of how many other young people there were that were homeless, that were experiencing the same thing as me. And it was a very, very challenging time. And I know that at the time for me, trying to just do one step at a time, just to get myself in a place where I'm actually living an adult life, was difficult. So my athletics had to go on the kind of back burner for a year or so. But then I was able to find a coach and who I stayed with my whole career. And within, I think, 2 years of being homeless, staying in hostels, having no one to turn to, other than, people like Centerpoint who really, really supported and helped me. It was 2 years later, I got back into long jump, and I was ranked number 2 in the world in the long jump. And it was just I know that for me, I had that passion to get back to track and field, but that was one of the things that really helped me to keep moving forward each step in that journey and that transition. And then 2 years after that, I made my first Olympic Games when I was 24 years old. So It was quite a journey, but it was all of everything that I went through really, really helped build that character. When you're standing out there in front of 90,000 people, and I'm scared, it's nothing as scary as kind of facing homelessness and being on the street. So,
wow. Tell us about the homelessness campaign from Centerpoint this Christmas.
Yeah, well, I'm so honoured. It's really surreal to me to have kind of gone full circle and now be an ambassador for the charity, and it's really close to my heart to be able to work with Centerpoint on this Christmas campaign this year. Youth homelessness is at a 5-year high. Like you said earlier, there's nearly 30,000 young people that are on the streets and that are going to be homeless and facing homelessness this winter. That's not the whole year, that's just this winter alone. And, it's such a scary, thought to think that there's going to be 33% of those that are actually going to sleep on the streets. They're actually going to sleep in a park, on a park bench. The weather that we had the last few days, -7 degrees, imagine there's young people sleeping out in that. So it's really, really important. We really want to raise this awareness of what's going on. The pandemic has made it really, really difficult, but we really, really need some donations so that Centerpoint and their staff can continue to help these young people. And I would like to say, if there are any young people that are homeless or facing homelessness right now, they can get in contact with centerpoint.org.uk, where there's some information that they can get, but there's also amazing staff that are there to help. They don't have to do this alone. They really don't. It's very, very scary, and I know it is, but it does get better and it can get better. And, you know, that's why it's so important to me, because I want them to see that, look, you can go on to achieve your dreams. You can go on to turn everything around and basically show what you're capable of.
What an amazing ambassador you are. Thank you so much for speaking to us so articulately about it as well this morning. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.